All right, so we're back with our favorite super villains. Ooh.
Yay. Villains are better than heroes anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Villains are way cooler. This was definitely an interesting challenge because we have a lot of the same villains. So this is 20 villains, but it's pretty much like 15, and then we just kind of stretched it out to some other people. So Sir Chong probably doesn't remember his list on this either. So.
I don't.
All right. So he definitely has taken a few of mine, and I've taken some of his. So we'll see how this goes. All right. So supervillains, and we were supposed to talk about who would win in a fight between our heroes, and we didn't.
Oh.
So maybe we can talk about who would win in a fight between our villains.
Maybe. Crump would win.
Yeah, our cat would win. All right. So my number 10 is Loki. You know him. He's the god of mischief. He's in Thor. He's in the Marvel movies. He's played by Tom Hiddleston and is ridiculously attractive. He's in the show Loki. He's really funny. Honestly, like, I could just watch him and Mobius or whatever, Owen Wilson. I could just watch the two of them banter. They obviously formed a pretty solid friendship, and I think it was in Midnight in Paris, and then just continued with that because they were, like, really fun to watch, just the two of them together, like, going back and forth. Like, what was he using? Like, yogurt or something to, like, explain time?
I don't remember, but yeah, their banter.
Oh, salad.
Right.
His salad. He ruined his salad. But yeah, I love Loki. I mean, Loki's such a great villain. I always like sort of the gray area characters that are kind of good but kind of evil, and or like they're evil but you can kind of get where they're coming from. And so Loki's really one of those. He's a villain, but he's a villain just because he likes to cause chaos, but he can also do good things if it serves him.
Yeah, Loki reminds me of, like, that dude on your sports team that you hate. So, like, you're constantly trying to screw each other over, but then when it comes to the actual game, you're on the same team. So, like, Loki will try to screw over Thor and Odin and Asgard all the time. But if, like, a major threat comes to, like, screw the whole thing over, Loki's like, I'm on your side now. Like,
right. Right. He's like that person you don't like, but you're like, oh, he's useful, I guess, with his, evilness. So that's my number 10. Sir Chunks is Felicia Hardy.
Oh, the Black Cat. I love Black Cat. Some will say she's a ripoff of Catwoman, and you very well might be right. But she's still cooler than Catwoman because she's got her bad luck power, and she got that cool, sleek outfit. But also she's got so much personality. She doesn't take anybody's crap, and also I like kind of, again, she fits in that sort of blobby region of, like, she's definitely a villain, but she's not like pure evil, right? She mostly just steals stuff. She's not murdering people. Yeah, and when she teams up with Spider-Man, it's usually pretty entertaining. The Black Cat series was pretty good too. They got rid of that, I guess. It wasn't popular, but that was pretty cool.
We have Black Cat's first appearance, right?
Yes.
We do not have Loki's.
No.
Who would win in a fight between Loki and Black Cat?
Let's move on.
Okay, it would be Loki, because Black Cat doesn't really have any powers.
She has bad luck. Loki would, like, slip and, like, fall on a banana peel and break his head open.
No, he
Victory
wouldn't.
to Black Cat.
Yeah, he wouldn't, because he's, a god and she's a thief.
Whatever.
All right, so my number 9 is Ronan the Accuser. I'm pretty sure we have his first appearance. I think I bought it from your brother.
Maybe, I don't remember. Somewhere in FF60 or something like that.
Yeah.
I forget.
I love Ronan the Accuser for no reason.
J'accuse.
Except, yeah, I just like his look. I don't even know that he's really a villain. I mean, technically he's a villain, but he's, like, just doing his job. I mean, I guess that's what they said about the Nazis, though, so, But I like, in, like, the animated FF, there's a really fun episode, and he's, like, a main part of it, and I just like him in that, and then we have, like, a little mini pop of him, and he's really cute, and I like the character in the movies, but I don't really know enough about Ronan to... I don't even think he shows up enough. I just really like him. I like his outfit.
He cares only about two things: accusing and hammers.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to like?
Right.
All right, so Sir Chonk's next one. I don't know if he's technically super, but he moved him into super villains. That doesn't gonna be villains anyway. And it's Jai.
Oh, yay. From Usagi, yeah, he's like a possessed demon monster guy that shows up over and over again. He's just very creepy. He just sort of strolls around saying like ominous, evil things to people, and people are like, why did he say that like that? And they just move on, and like he murders them like 10 pages later. If this guy's talking to you, he's probably gonna kill you in a little while. Move out of whatever village you're in.
You have his first appearance? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you have everything.
Yeah. He's from first. I think he first shows up in the Grass Cutter storyline, which is award winning. Anyway, yeah, he's kind of like, I guess, one of the main reoccurring antagonists in Usagi, and yeah, he's got some supernatural elements to him. But again, what I like I said, he just always shows up and says these like horrifically like vague things that are clearly threats, and no one ever seems to notice they're being threatened.
I guess he'd probably beat Ronan, because Ronan would just accuse him and then he'd kill him.
Right, he'd like suck the soul out of his body or something.
Yeah, so that's Sir Chunk has a win there.
Yeah.
All right, my number 8 is definitely someone who might have made Sir Chunk's list. It's Hobgoblin. I mean, Spider-Man I think is second to Batman for the coolest villains. Like, I mean, obviously there's plenty of cool villains in other series, but I think Spider-Man has a really cool collection of villains, and it's only second to Batman's. Batman just has, obviously, the coolest villains. But Hobgoblin's just creepy. I mean, have you seen him? He's like, I have a thing for capes. Everybody's got capes. My heroes have capes. My supervillains got capes. But he's got the creepy eyes, and he throws, like, pumpkins, and, I mean, I know, he's just a ripoff of Green Goblin, but he's a little less, like, tacky than Green Goblin. He's a little more, like, creepy, haunted Halloween than Green Goblin. We haven't seen him in the movies yet, so.
Yeah, Hobgoblin's awesome.
You got his first appearance,
the question
right?
is,
Yeah,
which Hobgoblin do you like the best?
I like the one on the cover.
Ned Lee's the most well-known, probably, but I like Jack Macendale because he's slightly more unstable.
Who's the one on the cool covers?
That's, what's his name? The first guy. I've drawn a blank on his name. He's got a really boring, like, 70s guy name. I can't remember it. I'll think of it later on.
Let's look it up while you're talking.
But anyway, yeah, he's obviously just, they were like, we've kind of used up this Green Goblin guy. Let's go to this backup guy who's the same, but slightly different.
Robin Bourne?
No.
Roderick Kingsley?
Roderick Kingsley, that's who it is.
Yeah. Roderick Kingsley. Yeah, we definitely have his first appearance. He's late.
Yeah.
He's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sir Chunks is not Ra's al Ghul, but
Talia al Ghul. Yeah, Talia al Ghul is awesome. She's underrated. Again, like we were just talking about, the Batman and Spider-Man Rogues galleries are the best. Talia, sort of like, I don't know where she fits in the grouping of Batman villains. She's definitely not in the top tier as far as popularity goes. But I think she's one of the coolest. She's arguably the best hand-to-hand fighter in the planet. Definitely up there in consideration. She's sneaky, but again, she's once again a villain that's got like a little bit of a not 100% evil side to her, right? She's generally evil, but she will on occasion be like, well, my code of honor dictates this kind of thing. She also banged Batman, so, points for that.
depends which Batman. Although most of the new ones would do, except Ben Affleck.
I'm talking about Bruce Wayne, not some stupid actor.
He just called Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson stupid actors. So who would win in a fight? Hobgoblin or Talia?
Well, if it's a hand-to-hand fight, Talia would kick the crap out of him.
That's the tough one, because I feel like they're both, they're kind of equally matched.
Call it a draw.
Yeah. You have her first appearance, too, right? You have that cool, it's got the moon on the cover?
Yep.
All right. So, my number 7 is probably my favorite villain, but he's up here on the list because he doesn't really do anything, and it's Galactus. Or, as I like to call him, Galactus. Mm-hmm. Why? I don't know. I like him. He's big and he's purple, and he's ridiculous. And we do have his first appearance. We talked about that in your collection. Yeah. Galactus gets a bad rap, though. I mean, it's not his fault. He's hungry. You can understand. I get hungry. I mean, I don't eat planets, but, that's not my food source. What do you want? The guy's hungry.
Right. Is he even really a villain? He even feels bad about it half the time. He's like, sorry for eating your whole existence, fellas. I mean, even in Secret Wars, Reed Richards is like, we should let Galactus win. Because then he'll stop eating planets for his reward, and it will save billions and billions of lives. Then, of course, the other hero's like, but then we'll die, and we're way too cool to sacrifice ourselves. Heroes, my ass.
Yeah, right. Galactus isn't doing anything wrong. He's just hungry. Let the guy eat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Sir Chonks, I hate to break it to you. I know you have his first appearance, but your villain would lose to Galactus because he's on a planet.
Who's my villain?
Zartan.
Ooh, Zartan's awesome.
I
love Zartan. I always kind of go back and forth whether Zartan or Storm Shadow is my favorite G.I. Joe guy, but Zartan's pulled off some of the coolest stuff. He's in some of the best issues. That one where he tries to like infiltrate and escape the pit. It's so good. He's the dude that kills Serpentor with the arrow through the eye. So good. Yeah.
In the hall or in the billiard room?
No, it's on the field of battle. Anyway, yeah, Zartan's awesome. And he'd beat up Galactus by punching him in the toe.
And then Galactus would eat the whole planet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going to beat Galactus effectively.
Right. No one can beat Galactus because he eats the planet.
Black Winter, I guess.
Maybe Ego. They'll fight each other.
He's too proud of himself. There's that book where... Is he fighting Ego or is he fighting the In-Betweener? That cover Galactus is like throwing like a right cross.
Oh, yeah.
Like In-Betweeners. It's hilarious.
Like punching
These two like massive galactic beings having like a fist fight. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I love Galactus. I don't know why. I just like him. Although he's always like in the movies and in pictures, he's always like just a big human. And you're like, I mean, the guy can eat planets. He's way bigger than he's...
big. I think he controls his size a little bit. When he goes to sit on a planet, he's going to shrink down. So.
He's got the cool hat, too. For some reason, they use the hat a lot. So, like, I thought for the longest time that the Sentinels were just, like, mini Galactuses.
Well, the Sentinels have more of, like, a bulbous hat, whereas Galactus got, like, the pointy bits and
stuff.
But
they're basically all wearing... And then, who's the Death guy? The Grim Reaper or whatever has a similar hat.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the pointy parts,
have a little bit similar hat.
So, I mean, there's only so many types of ways you can draw, and obviously they were big fans of purple at a certain period of time, and everything was purple.
At some point, they're like, wait, we now have the technology to put purple in our comics? Every villain is purple.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. All right, so my number 6 is Carnage. I like Venom, but Venom is, like, obviously kind of become funny at this point. He's also mostly a hero. I don't know how this happened, but now he's just a hero. And obviously, I love the Venom movies. I know a lot of people think they're silly, but they're silly enough, but they actually still have like enough like action that they're not so silly they're stupid. But Carnage is basically the coolness of Venom, but without being funny and just evil. And obviously, what do you expect? You take like a serial killer and you put the symbiote in him, he's gonna become evil.
Yeah, he's way more murdery. Even when Venom was at his most evil, yeah, he'd murder people for fun, sure. But Carnage like goes out of his way to just kill arbitrary random people for the sheer enjoyment of it. He's more like Carnage is more like the T-1000, where like he manipulates his goopy, venomy self around more, whereas Venom just like gets big.
Yeah, I mean, well, Eddie Brock wasn't evil. He was just kind of like a putz.
Kind of a douche.
Yeah, and then meanwhile you've got Cletus Cassidy is like, oh, I want to murder people for fun. Yeah. Oh, now I can?
Yeah, I hate that they kind of like ruin Venom by like making him like half good, mostly good. I'm like, listen, just because your villains become popular doesn't mean you make them good.
But the movie's funny. Come on.
Oh, I do like the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt that it's Tom Hardy.
Oh, yes.
Well, and Bane. Bane has not made the list. Spoiler. All right, so your next one, you didn't like the movie version. It was Taskmaster.
Oh, yeah. Taskmaster's great. Love him. Cool costume. Great power. He basically can mimic any physical thing that he sees. So he can basically, like, whatever you're trying to beat him with, he can just do what you're doing. He memorizes it. So, like, he has, like, all of Captain America's moves, all of Iron Fist's moves, all of Black Widow's moves, right? He's memorized all these moves. Super cool. He also has a cool, like, little selection of weapons. His uniform, his outfit, whatever the hell you want to call it. Costume is awesome. Unfortunately, yeah, the movie they made him, like, this like brain dead thing that doesn't talk and didn't use his powers at all. It was just so stupid. What a waste of an awesome character. Love the character. Like he's also like he trains henchmen. That's like his job. He like finds meatballs, turns them into henchmen, and sells them as like cannon fodder to villains, which is like a hilarious job to have. So yeah, Taskmaster's great. I hope they either like reintroduce him in some way or drastically fix the character because it's such a great character. He is cool in the video game.
You don't care that it's a girl. It's just you didn't like.
If they made her
changed
cool, it'd be
powers,
fine.
yeah.
But like she has no power. She doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Like they just completely ruined him. Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
So we have now had, I think, 3 Spider-Man, right? Because Black Cat, Hobgoblin, and Carnage.
Yeah.
And then we've had 1 Batman with Talia. And we have Carnage and Taskmaster's first appearances. So now we're moving on to our second Batman villain, and we have this one's first appearance, and this is Harley Quinn. Harley's another sort of, she's not really evil anymore, obviously. I don't even know if she was ever evil. She was just brainwashed by her boyfriend. I mean, you know, it happens when
pretty evil.
It does happen when you date, like, you know, a sociopath. So it's kind of common. But the thing with Harley is she's kind of like Loki. Like, she just likes chaos. But she's really fun. Obviously, Margot Robbie is great as Harley Quinn. But, like, one of the things with Harley is that for a while she was really cool and evil. And then, like, they tried to make her, like, sexy. And then they tried to make her silly. And now she's kind of back and forth. And she's kind of good, kind of bad. She's still vicious, but now she's, like, kind of on the good side sometimes when she feels like it. I like Harley a lot, but I do kind of hate that they, like, tried to, like, they had this period of sexualizing her. Because it's, like, kind of weird. You know, you can have a cool female character without her being, like, half naked. So.
But why would you?
We already have Catwoman. So, like, she's already in her, like, and it makes sense for Catwoman to be dressed in, like, very, like, tight clothes, and Harley doesn't really need to. She's supposed to be a crazy therapist gone bad. So she should be in her weird Harley Quinn outfits.
Yeah, I mean, I like Harley. What I like about her is her ability to switch from, like, completely unstable mayhem, where she just will smash everybody with a hammer, to be like, oh, yes, also let me solve this problem for you, because everybody forgets I'm really smart.
Yeah, she's really smart.
I like her in Suicide Squad. I mean, the comic. I mean, yeah, she's good in the movie, too. The comic, because she's good mixed with other people. Like, I don't know if I would be able to, like, enjoy just all Harley all the time series. It's probably, like, too much. I like her balance with other people, because she plays off with other people pretty hilariously.
Yeah, I go back and forth with her series. Like, I start to get bored with it, but partially for that reason, but also because I do feel like it's really up and down with how she's written, even when the same writer's writing her. It's like sometimes, like, they just don't know what to do with her, I feel like. But obviously Margot Robbie is doing a really good job, and I feel like someone else is, Lady Gaga's going to be here in the new Joker movie. I mean, you never know. It might be good.
It does not seem like a good casting choice, but again, you're right. Who knows?
But you didn't think Heath Ledger would be a good casting choice for Joker, and he was amazing.
That's true.
So, but yeah, Harley's awesome, and she's just fun, and I like her. And so, Sir Chonk, we have the first appearance of Sinestro.
Ooh, Sinestro. I talked about him very briefly in another video. But yeah, I like Sinestro as the just overwhelmingly self-aggrandizing. He's all about himself. He's like, I'm the best there ever is. I am unstoppable. Screw everybody else. He's a great foil for the Green Lanterns. He's awesome on his own. And he's got an interesting personality, right? He's a lot more complex than most villains are. He had a great series, Sinestro series, that was a few years ago. I wish he would come back, because it was great. He works great as a villain. What I like about him is even when they make him a protagonist, they keep him a villain, as they should. We need more of that.
All right, so our next Batman villain. So our 3 Batman villains now. And we have her first appearance. This is Poison Ivy. So I like Harley, but Poison Ivy has always struck me as, like, really intriguing. Because she's not really a villain. She's just very, like, her and Swamp Thing should hang out, you know? Because, like, she just wants to protect nature, and she's a little insane about it. But she's just she has always really intrigued me. I don't feel like they ever do anything really worthwhile with her in the movies. They haven't really touched on her, and when they do, it was terrible. And the comics don't even really use her as much as I feel like they should. Like, she's, like, when they do use her, it's like Harley's friend. They don't really use her as a villain anymore. And I'd really like to see them do more with her. Put her in have her hang out with Swamp Thing, and they can go on, like, a planet-saving quest.
Yeah, maybe. Like, yeah, Poison Ivy is cool, but yeah, for the main Batman villain, she doesn't show up that much. Like, if you went back, like, the last 20 years and count, okay, Joker appearance, Penguin appearances, Bane, or all those people, I think Poison Ivy would be near, like, the bottom of the list. It's like of the main villain. She just does not come around that often.
Yeah.
I think it's because, like, her interests are very narrow, and so it's hard to work her into a lot of storylines, I think.
Well, and again, she's kind of like, you can understand her, like, her as far as, like, I mean, Batman's villains used to always be, like, science-y, well, except for Joker. And then, like, they kind of moved...
very science-y? What are you talking about? He's a scientist.
No,
He's
but
a chemist.
I'm saying they moved away from, like, Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy and the people who are, like, kind of, like, science gone bad.
Oh, that was, like, an early comic book thing. Everybody was science gone bad.
Right, and I feel like now they're just kind of like, oh, these guys are, like, just crazy people. Speaking of crazy people who's just pure evil, Mephisto.
Ooh, I like Mephisto. He always looks cool. I feel like Mephisto's the kind of guy that shows up to parties very well dressed. And I always like that he's super mega crazy powerful. He can do almost anything. But he doesn't want to just show up and, like, kick the crap out of the heroes. He wants to evenly manipulate them into screwing themselves over or screwing their friends over in some way. And I respect that. I like a villain who's like, I could just kill you, but that's not fun. I want you to ruin your own life and then regret it later for eternity. Ha ha ha. Good job, Mephisto.
You have his first appearance, and it's in terrible condition, right?
I mean, it's not very good condition, no.
Oh, we didn't ask. So who would win, Carnage or Taskmaster?
Oh, probably Carnage. He's just really hard to kill.
Yeah, Taskmaster could take on his powers, but I don't think he has the desire to murder as much as Carnage.
He'd kill him, but he just doesn't have the durability. Like, Taskmaster would get, like, the first 20 kill shots in, but it doesn't matter because he can't kill him.
All right, because Carnage is one. And then out of Harley and Sinestro, I think Sinestro.
Yeah, Sinestro would crush him.
And Mephisto would obviously kill Poison Ivy because she's not even that evil.
Well, also, he's mega powerful. He's one of the most powerful entities that there is.
I mean, you got a demon and, like, a botanist. I mean, it's not really fair. All right, so my number 3 is Magneto, and he is definitely one of those villains that you're like, is he a villain, though? Because, like, what is really Magneto, like, doing that's bad, other than being, like...
he has murdered a ton of people.
Yeah, but they're all bad people.
But no, they're definitely not. But he does usually murder them for, like, what you can see as, like, reasons that make sense. He's like, these people screwed me over my whole life, so they're gonna die. Yes, good job, Eric. The problem is, half those people weren't the people that messed with you. They're just adjacent to them.
Right, but killing, like, you know, the government and stuff, when the government is, like, trying to, like, make mutants, like, illegal and stuff, you're kind of with him. Yeah, I'm with him.
No, I get that, but I think you're missing the part where he also kills random people by, like, he doesn't care.
You shouldn't really do that.
He's very much... For a guy that was, like, for part of his origin story, was, like, you know, sort of, like, abused by the Nazis, he's got kind of I'm a superior race vibe, you know, which is sort of like the, you know, interesting. So, yeah, he obviously he doesn't really, not Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, he's kind of, like, bought into, like, some of the
he hates the Nazis. He just also hates humans.
But he also is sort of, like...
Yeah. He has some Nazi tendencies, I guess, and that he believes he's superior race. Everybody else can go poop off.
Right, but I still like him because, you know, I don't think he's that bad.
I mean, he murders a lot of people.
Yeah, but they're
not all bad. He kills random innocent people.
But I mean, you know, like, the thing is, mutants are cool. The government's not.
Okay, anyway, move on.
All right. And then we have another Spider-Man villain with Green Goblin.
Yeah, well, we already kind of talked about Hobgoblin, but Green Goblin, of course, the original version. We're talking about Norman here. And obviously, he was the Spider-Man villain for a long time. Yeah, Spider-Man has a ton of villains, and he always has a lot of major villains, but I always considered, for me, Spider-Man's number one nemesis was always the Green Goblin. He has the coolest fights with him. Green Goblin, although he looks goofy, somehow also manages to look awesome.
Yeah, he is really cool, even though it's like kind of ridiculous.
And he's just absolutely vicious. One of the few characters that knows Peter Parker's identity. And he has one of the most awesome deaths ever. But of course, because it's stupid comic books, they bring him back. Now he's stupid. Now they get Norman Osborn back as like, he's like
running his own team.
Yeah, he's like a hero / businessman now. Like, you took one of the most evil, amazing characters and made him just another
Isn't Kingpin
stupid
the
guy.
mayor?
Yeah, but he's an evil mayor, so it's okay.
Still, I mean.
But yeah, I'm sick of this crap where they take great villains and because they're popular, they make them like good people. I'm like, stop doing that. You're ruining your characters.
Magneto would win in a fight because Green Goblin's outfit is metal.
Or partially metal, yeah.
So,
probably.
that would not work so well for him. All right, so my number 2, and we're going into a string of Batman villains here, is Riddler. And obviously I like the Paul Dano version, but I kind of like the ridiculously silly, like, green and purple. I don't know why green and purple was, like, the villain color scheme for, like, 30 years. But I like his, like, silly... I don't like the Jim Carrey Riddler, but I do like the sillier kind of Riddler. But I love about the Riddler is, like... Well, I like puzzles, personally. And I think it's, like, really cool how he, like, throws out all these, like, puzzles and mysteries and I thought the new Batman movie did a really good job of kind of reminding us that Batman was supposed to be creepy. And the Riddler was kind of creepy. And all of these things that were going on were like a detective story, hence the detective comics. Because I feel like after a while, we just started to see Batman as this guy who drove like a tank and then like jumped off buildings and stuff and drove a car really fast. And we lost, like, a lot of what I think was cool about Batman. And so, like, the Riddler, to me, is, like, one of, like, he's, like, your, noir serial killer, where he's leaving clues and hints to his identity and, like, causing these crimes, but he's leaving hints for the police to solve. And, I mean, to me, that's just, like, that's about as detective-y as you get.
Yeah, right. So he's like, he really plays into Batman sort of like deal. Riddler has some of the cooler storylines because, like you said, they're detective-y, they're crime-solving. He's cool in like the Arkham games, where he's like a side story of all these random riddles. Some of the riddles are stupid as hell, but some are good. But yeah, I don't like the Riddler that much as like an actual individual character, but I do like a lot of the storylines he's in. Because what happens with the Riddler every time? He's like, oh, Batman solves the crime. Oh, there's Riddler. One punch, Riddler's meatball, and that's that. But still.
Yeah, Batman really needs to consider, like, chatting with, like, Magneto or something and learning that, like, sometimes it might be good to kill some of these people so that we're not doing this over and over. Because, Batman, it's been, like, 80 years.
Yeah.
And you haven't really solved any of these problems. And Gotham's pretty much the worst place on the planet to live. So maybe you should, I don't know, not just keep putting them in Arkham so they can get out every time. And speaking of the villain that you just don't kill and just keeps getting out, number 2 for Sir Chunk is Joker.
Yeah, I don't say anything about the Joker. Everybody knows the Joker. He's probably the most well-known comic villain that there is. Good style, utterly sadistic. What I like about the Joker is even when he's become popular, when they do have him occasionally in leading stories, he's still a psychopath, so that's good at least. But yeah, again, some of the most classic Batman stories revolve around the Joker. One of my favorites, of course, Killing Joke, Death in the Family is another one, just some really awesome Joker stuff. I don't need to tell you about Joker, y'all know him.
What I like about the Joker, too, is that, like you always read, oh, this is his origin, and then you find out he's lying. And so, like, we still don't really have, like, a formal origin. There's like different versions.
There's a Joker
but like
origin.
none of them are accepted as the
like,
100% canon,
yeah,
are they?
It's the detective, like, I forget the number, it's the first Red Hood. It's like Detective 182 or something. That's considered like the Joker origin.
Well, I like how he like lies about everything and manipulates everything, and you have no idea what you're gonna get with him.
Right.
And then how sometimes he's like, maybe I'm not evil, and then he's like, nah, I am. I mean, he's like just the perfect foil, obviously, to Batman. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
So my number 1 is our last Batman villain, but pretty much a really cool Batman villain. And surprisingly over Riddler and Joker, I just think he's my villain. Well, actually, speaking of, do you think Riddler or Joker would win?
Joker would kick the crap out of
Yeah, because Joker has no, like...
He can also fight. Riddler can't fight at all.
Yeah, he'll just, like, leave puzzles. And Joker is smart. So anyway, my villain is, I think, the most terrifying villain in all of comic books. And it's Scarecrow.
Dupe. Oh, no, wait.
No, it's not Dupe. Dupe is a hero. but yeah, I think Scarecrow is the most terrifying villain because he can get into your head, figure out what you're afraid of, and then just make that your reality. I mean, like, that kind of manipulation is so scary. Like, of all the people you wouldn't want to meet in an alley, I mean, you don't want to meet a lot of these guys in an alley, or
Don't
girls.
go down a place called Crime Alley. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, don't go anywhere in Gotham, let's be honest. But if you were to meet any of these people in the alley, I mean, maybe Carnage would be pretty terrifying, but I feel like Scarecrow's, like, up there, because, I mean, not only is he going to kill you, and is he a villain, but he's going to make it as terrifying as humanly possible for you to, like, be tortured. So, yeah, Scarecrow is terrifying to me.
Yes, his one weakness, just lob corn at him, and then all the birds pull him apart.
Yeah, so Scarecrow's super creepy. And then the number one villain, which I think we share overall, is... I have to admit, I have this strange attraction to this villain. I don't know why. It's Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom's great. I mean, Dr. Doom to me is like the ultimate dude that, like, he just is there to try to find ways to make himself even more awesome. He's like, yes, I have most of the power, but I don't have all of it. He's also a guy that, like, when it comes down to it, you often see Doom randomly side with the heroes, but not because he's a hero, because he's smart enough to realize it's in his best interest, which I respect, that he's like, yes, I will now team up with you guys to save myself and then screw you over later. Also, Doom beats the Beyonder in a one-on-one fight. Impossible! Doom freaking beats everybody. He's amazing.
Yeah, so Doom would obviously beat Scarecrow.
Doom would beat anyone.
Also, here's an idea. If your name is Victor Von Doom...
Yeah.
I mean, maybe don't get involved in, like, some kind of weird space exploration where there might be powers involved, because it's not going to go well. I mean, you're clearly being set up to be the villain.
But his name is Victor, so he has that working for him.
Oh, yeah, but after Victor Frankenstein, who's about as evil as you get.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's victorious.
I mean, he's victorious in creating life and being evil.
Anyway, Doom's the best.
Anyway, so, yeah, we don't have Magneto's first appearance. We have Green Goblin's first appearance.
Yes.
We don't have the Riddlers.
Silver Age, but yeah.
And we obviously don't have the Joker because we're not millionaires.
Yeah.
And we have Scarecrow Silver Age.
Yes.
And we have Dooms, but as Sir Chong pointed out in his video, it's sort of. It's intact-ish.
It's a little beat up. The cover has been removed and glued to cardboard for some reason.
So these are our villains. What do you think? There's obviously a heavy Batman here, but come on, Batman's got the coolest villains. It's just, that's the way it is. Batman's still cool. I think probably, I mean, he was up there on our heroes too. He's just, Batman be cool.
Everybody loves Batman. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. All right, bye.
Boop.